Hey you guys, it's Bree. I know it's been about a month since I've posted. My husband encouraged me to take a much needed break. So I actually also haven't been out in the garden in probably a couple weeks. So luckily the temperatures have gotten a little bit better. We've been under 100 degrees, still in the 90s, but under 100. So that's definitely nice. So I figured I would go ahead and bring y'all out here. One thing I wanted to start with, my Bradford pear is confused and it's blooming. So I don't know why it's doing that. It's supposed to bloom in the spring, but at least it's really pretty. But I do want to show y'all a couple other things that are looking really pretty over here. I am over here in what used to be what I called the dahlia beds. The gomphrena is really pretty. I want to show you this one right here. Looks like maybe a double, I don't know, but really cool looking. Most of them just look like that. But the gomphrena is so beautiful. And what's cool about gomphrena is it dries and stays this beautiful, vibrant color. The only other thing growing over here is I do have a basil. It's gotten pretty big. Looking really nice. I don't remember what kind of basil that is, but those are the only two things growing. I do need to trim back the irises. So let's go look at the garden over here. So like I said, I have not been out here in probably 2 weeks. I look at it out the window, but I just haven't really been in the mood to come out here. And I'm glad I am coming out here because the salvia has put on a new flush of blooms. That's really pretty. And I know my rock rose is still blooming because I can see that through the window. And one really exciting thing, let me show y'all. It's gonna be hard to show you, but I do have a pretty passion vine flower. I actually haven't seen one of those flowers. I think I saw one flower at the beginning of the season, and that was about it. And that's on the blue one. And it looks like there's another bud right here. The pink one on the other side, I don't see. Oh, I do see something. There's that one right there. I don't want to touch it. Oh, there's another. Oh, there's one there. There's one over there. They're eating the pink one. Oh, look at that big one right there. I don't know. That's really a good thing because they are eating my plant. I did get a couple of the Chinese long red noodle beans. This one's dry enough that I can actually harvest it and save seeds. But I do see there's another one right here. Nothing else going on in this bed. Oh, look. I thought the salvia was dead, but there is some salvia blooming down there. That's exciting. I thought that was completely dead on that side. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing those caterpillars on the blue one as well. Here's one right there. And all over it. Well, that's okay. So, it's kind of a mess out here. Let's go ahead and check it out. We got our peppers over here, and I am actually seeing some peppers on them. There's some right there, and there's some over there as well. These are all the jalapenos. See some buds here, and then we got some flowers also. Look at this one. So that's exciting. I don't see any peppers. These are my poblanos. Looking really rough, but you can see they are trying to put on some buds. These marigolds look so pretty. Although the bottoms don't look pretty, they are putting tons of blooms on the top, so that's really nice. This bed, I had pulled everything out. We have a couple weeds down there, but that is a marigold. I started from seed. This bed right here, I am happy to see there are some leaves starting to grow on this blueberry bush that I thought was dead, so that's exciting. I did realize I did not harvest 2 onions when I harvested all the other ones, so I'm just going to leave those and hopefully I get a couple really big onions. Oh, look at this one. This blueberry bush has a bunch of new growth on it too. That's really exciting. And then we have my fig bush right here. Looking nice. I did not get any figs on it, but that's okay. And then I don't see any new leaves on that blueberry bush. Did you hear something over there? You heard an animal? Let's look at this one right here. My basil, I was doing really good pulling all the flowers off, but as you can see, it is covered in flowers. Oh, baby girl has some flowers too. My zinnias are looking pretty rough. I do have lots of flowers. These ones are all really spent though. Here's a newer one. So I do need to cut those, but you can see new buds forming. Mommy. These are, what'd you find? Oh, thank you. This is my peanut plant, and I am noticing there's new yellow flowers growing on it. So from what I've read, that's kind of like potatoes. You wait till the plant starts dying off, and then you pull the whole plant out, and then there's hopefully going to be a ton of peanuts attached to it. And then you leave the peanuts attached, let it dry for a few weeks, then take the peanuts off, then let those dry for a few weeks, and then they're good to go. So this is my first time growing peanuts, so I'm hoping, since we saw lots of flowers on that plant, that there will actually be some peanuts. Don't worry, I will bring y'all along when I harvest that, but that is going to be something that we just have to wait on. Over here in the other bed, we have some more zinnias. Really, really pretty. Now, like I said on the other ones, the plants aren't looking too good, but there's still really pretty flowers on it. This is an amaranth that I planted. Oh, and look. I was just getting ready to say there's a lot of bug damage on it, and that's probably one of the things eating it. Oh, look, it's moving. It's kind of cool looking, but I'm not going to touch that. But you can see bug damage all over it, but look how beautiful that is. That's why I grew it, because, oh, look, there's another one. Better be careful, I don't want to touch those things. But yeah, lots of bug damage, but that's a beautiful plant right there. We have quite a mess going on in this bed over here, but still lots of really pretty zinnias. There's those ones. I love these ones. Really, really pretty. And then there's this one of the queen limes. And then we have some red. This is a spent red one, but that's actually really, really pretty looking. Oh, and look, you guys. We have a tomato. Now that I've said that, baby girl is probably going to get it. This plant got tons of hornworm damage on it, but I could never find the hornworm. Oh, what do you see? Those aren't tomatoes, those are zinnias. Oh, real quick. I gotta show that one. That one's beautiful. They're all kind of falling over down there. Mommy. But yeah, back to the tomato plant here. Lots of hornworm damage, but I never see the hornworm. I know you can get a black light and come out at night and they glow, but I just haven't done that. But there are some other buds on it. I'm over here trying to look for the hornworm so I can show y'all, but I'm probably not gonna find it out here. But you can see the plant is growing really, really wild. And this tomato cage obviously isn't big enough. But it goes over all wonky. But that's where the tomato's growing. And then there's all this nice new growth over here. This was a horrible year for me for tomatoes. I don't even know, did we get any tomatoes? I think we got a few, but not what I was expecting at all whatsoever. So, I don't know. I'll probably still try to grow tomatoes next year, but I just have not really had the best luck. My first year gardening, I actually had pretty decent harvest with them, but that's basically been about it. Every other year since then, I haven't had a good harvest. So, I know my neighbor grows a ton of tomatoes, so I don't know, maybe I can grow something really, really good and just trade with them next year, so I don't have to waste the space and time trying to grow them. One other zinnia that I just saw. We do have a beautiful white one growing. And this one's all wonky over here. But we got this really, really beautiful one as well. I just noticed there's some holes down there. I wonder what's living down in there. But you can see, not looking very healthy. What are you doing? Oh, they're ants? Lots of rocks. Yeah, that's a big rock. Let's go look on the outside over there. So I don't really have much going on in the iris bed here. I do need to cut those back. There is some lantana in there. Oh, that's weird. Look at this. There's a salvia in there. I planted lantana, so I guess there was also a salvia in the pot. That's crazy. It looks like I have been missing out on some roses here. But you can see this one's starting. Looks like we've had some that have already bloomed. And then let me turn y'all around. Ignore the weeds. Our weed whacker broke, so he mowed, but he couldn't weed whack. So I forgot what plant that was, but that's really, really pretty. And then these pin cushions have always been one of my favorites. They have been here several years now, and they're just always so beautiful. And even when the flowers stop blooming, I still think the little seed pods are really awesome looking too. This is, I forgot, some kind of, oh, actually I have a tag for this one. A Blew My Mind Dwarf Morning Glory. Really, really pretty. This one, just need to trim back the first flush of blooms. You can see it's starting to bloom again. I got my tag for this one. This one is a Pink Moody Blues Speedwell. So once I get that cleaned up, that'll look really, really nice. This lantana is looking really, really pretty. So this variety, let me see, I think I have a tag for this one. Luscious Royal Pina Colada. So you can see this is more of like a mounding lantana. The other lantanas that I've had have been more of a, oh, I thought that was a bee, but it's dead, unfortunately. But anyway, oh, there's a spider right there. That's probably what killed it. But yeah, this lantana is more of a mounding lantana. And then the last thing, well, I guess there's two other things in this bed, but my beauty berry is looking really pretty. The berries, at least. The plant itself doesn't really look the best. I know you can make like jellies and stuff with these, but I haven't done anything with those in the past, so I don't really know how to do that. And then my canna lily also has a nice furry little friend on it, but you can see it's getting ready to have a new bloom on it, so that's exciting. Now that I've been out here after not being out here for a couple weeks, I actually wish I had been spending more time out here. Everything is looking really, really pretty. Yes, some things are looking a little rough, but I mean, it's September and I'm in Texas. I'm in North Texas, and we had, I don't even know how many days over 100 degrees, but it was rough and we had no rain. We've actually been starting to get some rain recently. That's why everything is starting to turn green a little bit, but it's definitely been a very rough summer. Another thing, if you've been watching my videos, remember all the peaches that I've lost, or that I lost? 76 peaches, I think, all in one night. Well, I know I was blaming the squirrels, but shortly after that, maybe like a week after that, we actually noticed that my husband came outside and there was like 6 raccoons in our chicken coop. Now, what's very, very odd is they did not kill any of my chickens. They were in there, and some of my chickens were actually out in the run where the raccoons were, and they didn't eat any of them at all whatsoever. But we have been dealing with them getting into our coop, or into our run actually, and damaging our run. So my husband keeps making repairs, and then we find that they broke in somewhere else. So unfortunately, that's been a very stressful last couple months. One thing, I was doing some research because I was shocked that they weren't killing the chickens. But I did start losing chickens, but they were not attacked at all whatsoever. They were just dying, and we knew that we were giving them water and we were giving them ice with the vegetables in it. So we didn't think it was a heat issue. Hey babe, can you make sure she's not throwing rocks in the beds, please? She's in there having the time of her life, throwing rocks everywhere. But I don't want those all on my beds. So I did some research, and I know it was saying that I guess raccoon poop is actually toxic to chickens if they eat them. So I don't know if they were pooping in there, then the chickens were eating it, and that's why they were dying. But I was heartbroken. I am down to 5 chickens. That's it. I have 3 black copper Morans, and then I'll be honest, I don't know what the other 2 are. I do think one of them, there's a gray one with a red neck. I think she might be a Moran. And then I think I have an olive egger still. But I lost my 2 favorite chickens. My rooster, Subaru, he was my chicken that I had had the longest. And yeah, he didn't make it. And then Lacey was also one of my first chickens, and she didn't make it either, along with, how many other ones did we lose? Like 5 more? It was awful. It was very, very awful. So we still have the 5. Every so often he comes out at night, and he has taken care of several of the raccoons. My reason for bringing this up is I think the raccoons, or the family of raccoons, is actually what took care of all of my peaches in one night. We've been trying to make sure that we're not leaving food. We did have those tube feeders in our coop, and we've stopped doing that because we thought maybe they were getting in to get the food. But I don't know. But I've lived here for 5 years, never had any issues, and then this year we have a bobcat issue and we have raccoon issues. So it's definitely been upsetting. I want to get more chickens, but at the same time I don't want to get any more chickens. It's just been awful. But we've been trying to figure out how to fix our coop or redo our coop, or our run. I keep saying coop, but our run. That's where they're getting in at. We do want to sell that. We don't use that. It's too heavy to move around. So it was a good idea, and it worked. We've had it for a couple years now. That's where we used to have our black copper Morans, but I combined them. After we lost the rooster in there, we went ahead and moved the girls into here. We have a chicken about to escape. This is where they keep damaging our coop. You stay in there. My husband's over there watching baby girl, so once we're done here, I'm going to have him fix that. Don't you even think about it. I also want to take this whole area down. That's where we used to have our ducks, but we also lost those to predators, and now I'm thinking the bobcat is probably what took those. So I want to go ahead and just take all of that down. Not this. I want to keep this. That's actually built really, really good. And we used it for baby chicks, and if I do ever decide to do baby chicks again, I want to have that. But thought I saw something in the pond, but there's not. Yeah, this whole area is just not serving any purpose, so I want to go ahead and take it down. And then I'm also considering, let me turn y'all around, taking this down. So before I even started doing YouTube, I had goats in here, and we had a horse in there for a short time. And then I had a pig. So that, if you've been watching with me for a while, you probably remember the pig that was in there. And then we used it as a pumpkin patch for a while. But right now, I mean, it's just weeds. I mean, there is a bunch of mulch in there. And I've been throwing, like, all my sunflowers I threw in there. All of my tomato plants I pulled out, I threw in there, and everything that I've pulled out, I've thrown in there. I just see it's kind of just like wasted space. And we do have a shed back here that when I had goats, I used it as the goat house. But we do have a bunch of stuff in there. And anytime my husband wants to get anything out of there, he has to go behind the chicken coops, go around all those trees to get all the way over there. So if we got rid of this area, then we would have more yard space, and it would be easier for him to get over there. Right now it's a pain in the butt because there's also a tree that's down over there as well. You can see the dying part, but then the tornado that we had a while back took that tree down. Baby girl's being wild. But yeah. So I apologize to my viewers. I know a couple of y'all reached out to me and we're just fine. We were just taking a break, and so I do plan on trying to do more videos again on a regular basis. We did start a bunch of seeds inside for the fall garden. Most of them are, if not all of them, are not good. Actually, I'll show y'all that here in a minute when we get back up to the front porch. We've been hardening them off, and by hardening them off, I mean I just put them out there one day and just left them. So they're all still alive, or for the most part they are. So I actually decided to go ahead and just bring y'all with me right now and look at the seedlings. I did buy a few started plants from a local nursery. I wish I had bought more, but I didn't. But I did buy a few. I set up a new seed starting station, but my lights were way too far away from the tray, and you'll see that in a second. But first, let me show y'all the ones I bought. Let's see here. So here we have a green magic broccoli. I think I have 2 of those. Yeah, another green magic broccoli. Not doing so good. I need to get them out of these pots. And another one, so I got 3 broccolis. And then I got 2 dinosaur kales. There's the other one. And I got 1 ruby perfection cabbage. Really, really pretty. Definitely have some bug damage on them, but they've been out on my front porch. And then let me turn y'all around. These, as you can see, are not looking very good, but we have mixed Swiss chard, giant mustard, 1 scarlet kale, and some alyssum. And they are starting to get their first set of true leaves, so we'll see how those do. These ones on this left side are all early broccoli. You can see how tall and leggy these are. They are starting to get their first true leaves, but I'm not expecting much from those. And then my red acre cabbage, same thing. They're starting to get their first true leaves, but because of how tall and leggy they are, I don't know how they're gonna do. And then over there I have, let's see, butter crunch lettuce and a salad mix, looking extremely rough, but they are starting to put on some growth, but you can see how leggy those are. But they're still alive. So since they're still alive, I am planning maybe this weekend, sometime very soon, to rip out everything in the garden except for, I'm not going to rip out the peppers or the figs or the basil. Basically, I'm going to take out most of the zinnias, and then I have that 1 empty bed, and I'm going to try to plant a bunch of stuff in there. And I don't know, we'll just see how it goes. We've had a lot going on lately, so taking a break is nice. And I did think about not even doing a fall garden, but I just can't do that. I really, really want to. So, especially because my plan was to make a bunch of food for the chickens, and now that I only have 5 chickens, I don't even have to grow that much to feed them. So I do want to definitely grow something, and we'll just see how it goes. I'll bring y'all along, don't worry. When I get stuff planted, I'll show you how everything ended up, and then I'll definitely continue to do my monthly garden tours. Whether there's much to show or not, I do want to show y'all how my garden looks every single month. Well, that's it for this video, you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one. Wow.
The wind stopped.